What's up YouTube, this is LDS Reliance. I just wanted to do a video. It's late summer now and garden's a very different beast than my last video in the springtime. Some things have done well, some things have not done well. I just want to preface this, I am not a master gardener by any stretch of the imagination, and this garden is not super impressive to most people, but just wanted to show you kind of from my amateur gardening what has worked and what hasn't. This kale cannot be killed. It is very hardy. It doesn't require a whole lot of work. Part of it died off here, but I'm not sure why that is. This one's like a weed; you just can't kill it. So it's good stuff if you like that. Nothing ever sprouted over here. I think I covered that in my last video. These green peppers, this plant is great. It doesn't produce as big as like you get from the grocery store or something, but produces tons of them. If you like green peppers, very easy to grow. I haven't really had any problems with it. You can see everything's really healthy. I haven't used pesticides or anything on this. It has not used any what am I trying to say? I haven't used any Miracle-Gro or anything like that. Fertilizer, that's what I'm trying to say. This lettuce, we let it go to seed, obviously, so it doesn't really even look like lettuce anymore. But it grew like crazy. It went nuts. We had great fresh lettuce for quite a long time, and we get lettuce from our co-op, our vegetable farmers market co-op thing, and so we didn't end up using a ton of it. These beans, these are like bush beans. As you can see, they're still kind of producing little beans, but I probably wouldn't do these bush ones again like this. Actually, here's a really good one. So it's still producing. It's been producing the whole summer, but a lot of times we won't get out here to kind of inspect it, and they'll go bad. Because we just don't eat beans a ton, but these were easy to grow. They've started to kind of get hammered by pests and stuff like that, so you probably would, if I were doing these again, I'd probably would put some pesticide and stuff on these and give them more room. They probably need this whole space. You know, I don't know how wide that is, 2 feet or 18 inches or whatever it is, but if I had to do it over again, I would give them more space. These jalapenos have done really well as well. At one point I had to put this stake in to kind of try to hold this thing up, but it did fine. I mean, it produces a ton. These aren't as big as, you know, the jalapenos you get at the grocery store, like Walmart or whatever. So my kids haven't liked them as much because you can't make them into cheddar poppers or whatever. So that would kind of be my only complaint with these, but they grow absolutely fabulous here in Texas. Super easy to grow, very hardy. You know, no brown leaves whatsoever. They like the heat, they like the sun, so very easy to grow. This okra is probably the star of our garden. I mean, it's huge. It's taller than I am. It produces okra all like crazy. In fact, you'll see on the ground that I have to, and under there, that when they get too big, when they grow so fast that I can't get out here every single day and check them, and then we have to end up, they're too hard and tough when they get that long, and so just let them drop on the ground. But like this one right here, this is perfect size, a couple 2 inches long or so. They're great for frying up some okra. They are a little bit susceptible to grasshoppers, like you can see here. They're starting to get a little bit chewed up on the plants or on the leaves. So maybe a little bit of pesticide on these would help it even more, but I wouldn't even worry too much about it because this has been our star producer. We have fried okra about every week or so with this guy. As you can see, all of our gourds have died off except the zucchini. So I'll come over here. Zucchini is one of my favorites, if not the favorite vegetable that I have. I was able to resurrect this one. It got infested with aphids. First it was the squash bugs that came in, and I was able to kill those off with a pretty aggressive pesticide. And then the aphids moved in, and they were literally covering the bottom of the leaves just everywhere. So I had to use I used some Sevin, SEVIN, pesticide for those, which is a little bit less hardcore, and it took them right out, and then this thing sprouted back up. Unfortunately, the squash plant over here succumbed to the squash bugs and the aphids and died off. And then over there was a pumpkin squash plant that died. It vined everywhere, all over the place. I mean, just all up and down these rows, everywhere. And it died. And then the cucumber there, it was not the right strain or whatever of cucumber, and we didn't like the fruit it produced, and so we just kind of let that thing die too. As far as our tomatoes, I would not do this stupid cherry tomato plant again. And let me see what kind of one this is. This was a Porter Improved cherry tomato, and the Bonnie plants. This was just the only cherry tomato plant from seedling that I could find at Home Depot. And this thing, as you can see with all the clippings, the pruning that I've done on this thing, all it wants to do is grow leaves. It just wants to grow leaves. We probably had only 10 or 12 cherry tomatoes on this thing the whole summer. As you can see, I don't see a single one in here right now. It's just all it wants to do is grow out. It grows up tall and out to the sides, and it's just obnoxious, so I would never do this one again. And then these two tomatoes in the middle are really good. This one's called Heat Master. I bought these, both of them, because they were heat and drought tolerant, and they've done very, very well. Despite how this looks, they just got so big that the weight, they couldn't handle the weight, and they kind of tipped over. But they're still growing. There's tomatoes all over the place down here, and they're ripening up really well. Let me see if I can find out what kind of one this one is. This one is a Somerset heat tolerant hybrid tomato. Both plants did about the same. Some people don't like the leaves when they curl up like this, so if you're one of those people, don't get this kind, because the leaves definitely curl on this breed. This one not quite as much, but still a little bit. So but they produce tons. I mean, we've made salsa several times. We've had all kinds of homemade spaghetti sauces and marinara sauce and stuff like that with these tomatoes, and they're absolutely fabulous. So what have I learned? I've learned that tomatoes are great in Texas. They grow pretty well as long as you get a heat and drought tolerant type. You'll get a very, very good yield. You got to plant the gourds early. They will go nuts for the first half of the summer, and then they'll start to try to die in the middle of the summer unless you give them a lot of water. I have to water this sucker every day, and you got to take care of them against the pests, or they will succumb to the pests really, really easily. Okra is an all-star here in North Texas. Same with jalapenos over there, and green peppers here. And the green leaf lettuce was really easy to grow, so I'd recommend that for beginners. And oh, we have a herb garden over here. Lastly, I will finish up with this. This was cilantro right here, this dead thing. I wouldn't recommend. This is the second time I've tried to do cilantro, and it lasts okay for a little while, and then it tries to go to flower and go to seed. And it's, you know, if you're really, really diligent about pruning it back, I think you can get away with it, but they're really hard. I wouldn't advise that for an amateur. This basil has been great. We've used fresh basil in some of our recipes and stuff. This thing is, let's see, where is it? This spicy oregano. It's actually really good. I didn't know how it would taste when I bought it from the seedling from the store, but it tastes really good. It's kind of got a little kick on it, but really got a good flavor to it, and it grows like crazy. As you can see, it's kind of vining everywhere in here. And then this rosemary, I absolutely love rosemary in my recipes, and so this is, all three of these are super easy to take care of. They just need some water occasionally, and that's it. No fertilizer, no pesticides, no nothing. Anyways, there's my garden, and that's my experience this year. Hopefully we can do a little bit better next year, but thanks for watching and good luck to you.